stop scrolling for a moment. Yes, right now. Because this is not just another video. This message was meant to find you. You may think it's a coincidence that you're here, but it's not. Before this day even began, before you picked up your phone, before this exact second, God already knew this moment would happen. He already saw your heart, your struggles, your prayers. And He said, "Send this message to my child. You. The one listening right now. Have you felt something calling out to you lately? A quiet voice that keeps whispering in your heart? A strange feeling that something important is about to happen? That's not your imagination. It's not random. It's God trying to get your attention. He's saying, don't ignore it. Open it quickly before it's too late. There are moments in life when heaven tries to reach us, not to scare us, but to protect us. And this moment, right now, is one of those moments. Something is shifting in your life. You may not see it yet, but doors are opening. Blessings are moving in your direction. But if you ignore this message, if you delay what God is asking you to do, you could miss what's already waiting for you. Think back over the last few days. Have you noticed strange coincidences? Maybe you've had dreams that felt more real than usual. Maybe a thought keeps repeating in your mind. Maybe you've been seeing signs, hearing words, or feeling things that seem to follow you. That's not luck. That's not accident. That's heaven saying, pay attention. I am speaking to you. God has seen every tear you've cried when no one was there to comfort you. He's heard the silent prayers you whispered in the dark. He's felt the weight you've been carrying in your heart. And now, He's answering. This is not just a video, this is His message to you. You've been wondering if God is real, if He still listens, if He still cares. The answer is yes. He's been with you the entire time, in every storm, in every heartbreak, in every quiet moment when you thought you were alone. And now He's saying to you, my child, listen to my voice. I'm giving you one more chance to hear me. Don't ignore what I'm showing you. Open your heart now, before it's too late. So take a deep breath. Forget the noise around you for a moment. Let your heart listen. Because something inside you already knows this message is meant for you. You can feel it, a stirring, a calm, a strange peace that tells you this isn't random. God is reminding you today that His timing is perfect. That everything you've lost, everything you've questioned, everything that has hurt you, it's all part of a greater plan. You are being guided. You are being protected. And you are being called, right now, to listen. If you believe that this message has reached you for a reason, don't ignore it. Say these words with faith. God, I'm here. I'm listening. And before you continue, make sure you stay until the end of this message. Because what you're about to hear next may be the confirmation you've been praying for. Now, let's begin. There comes a moment in every person's life when heaven calls out to their heart. It doesn't come with thunder or flashes of light, it comes quietly. Through the stillness of your thoughts, through the ache in your soul, through the moments when you whisper, God, please help me. Maybe that's been you lately. You've been feeling something you can't explain, a sense that change is coming, a stirring that won't go away. That's not your imagination. That's the call from heaven. God says, I have been trying to reach you. Through the pain, through the confusion, through the silence, I have been speaking to you. Heaven doesn't always shout. Sometimes it speaks softly, through signs that repeat, through coincidences that feel too perfect to ignore. You might see a word, a number, or a message that keeps showing up again and again. You might feel a sudden warmth in your chest when you pray, or peace after crying out for help. That is God's presence surrounding you. He says, my child, I know you have been tired. I know you have been waiting for answers that haven't come yet. I know you have been wondering if I still hear your prayers. And I want you to know, I never stopped listening. Every tear you've shed has been seen. Every moment of doubt has been heard. Even when you felt like heaven was silent, angels were already at work on your behalf. Sometimes God hides His work not to punish you, but to strengthen you. Because He wants your faith to grow deeper than your fear. He wants your trust to be stronger than your worry. You see, when God calls you, He doesn't just call your ears, He calls your heart. He calls you to remember who you are. He calls you to return to Him. Maybe lately, you've been distracted by the noise of life, responsibilities, worries, regrets. You've been running, trying to fix everything on your own. But God says, be still. Stop running. Come back to me. He's not angry with you. He's not disappointed in you. He's waiting for you, patiently, lovingly, like a parent waiting for their child to come home. You might think you're too far gone, too broken, too lost. But God says, no, you're not. You are still mine. I never let go of you. There's a reason this message found you today. Because heaven is reminding you that your story isn't over. That there's something greater waiting for you. That the pain you've been through wasn't to destroy you, it was to prepare you. God says, the delay was not denial. The silence was not rejection. I was building your strength, not breaking your spirit. He wants you to understand that even in the darkest season of your life, you were never alone. There were moments when danger passed by you without your knowing. Moments when your tears brought angels closer to protect you. Moments when you wanted to give up, but something unseen, gave you just enough strength to keep going. That something was Him. Heaven has been closer than you think. Right now, even as you listen, something inside you knows this is true. Because you can feel it, that quiet confirmation, that inner peace, that sudden hope that rises for no reason. That's God reminding you, I am here. I never left. He's been waiting for you to slow down long enough to hear His voice. He's been trying to show you signs, but you were too busy fighting battles alone. And now, He's calling again. Not through fear, not through guilt, but through love. Because love is His language, and mercy is His message. He says, I know the weight you carry. I know the mistakes you've made. I know the questions that haunt your mind. But none of those things can separate you from my love. The call from heaven is not about punishment. It's about restoration. It's about bringing you back to peace, back to clarity, back to who you were created to be. Right now, heaven is saying to you, this is your moment to listen. I'm calling you out of confusion and into peace. Out of fear and into faith. Out of sadness and into hope. This is not just another message on your screen. This is a reminder from eternity, that you are chosen, that your life has purpose, and that your time is now. So don't ignore it. Don't let this moment pass. Because God is reaching out His hand, saying, I'm here. Walk with me. Trust me again. Say these words quietly in your heart. God, I hear you. I won't ignore you anymore. I'm ready to follow where you lead. And as you say it, something in the unseen begins to move. Because when you respond to heaven's call, heaven responds to you. This is your sign. The one you've been praying for. The one your heart knew would come. Heaven has called your name today, and this time, you answered. There's a reason you've been feeling tired lately, not just in your body, but in your soul. You've been fighting something you can't see, something that drains your peace, your joy, and your hope. It's not just bad luck. It's not just stress. It's a spiritual battle. Every person walking this earth faces invisible battles, moments where everything feels heavy for no reason, when doors close suddenly, when confusion clouds your mind. But what most people don't realize is that these aren't coincidences. There is a fight happening around you, one that your eyes cannot see, but your spirit can feel. God says, my child, The reason it's been so hard is because you carry something valuable inside you, something the enemy fears. You see, the enemy doesn't attack what is empty. He attacks what is full of potential. And you, right now, are standing on the edge of something great, something God has been preparing you for. That's why the pressure has increased. That's why people have misunderstood you. That's why you've faced delays, disappointments, and doubts. Because darkness always fights hardest before the breakthrough arrives. But listen, this battle is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to reveal you. To awaken the strength God already placed inside you. You may not realize it, but every time you chose to get back up when you could have stayed down, heaven took notice. Every tear you cried became a seed for your miracle. Every time you prayed, even when it felt pointless, angels moved to guard you. God says, I have seen you stand through storms that were designed to break you. And because you did not quit, I will reward you. You are closer to victory than you think. The reason this battle feels so personal is because it is. The enemy isn't after your possessions, he's after your peace. Because he knows that if he can steal your peace, he can make you forget your power. But today, God is reminding you. You are not fighting alone. Every time you felt invisible, heaven saw you. Every time you thought, I can't do this anymore, God whispered, yes, you can. I'm still here. The attacks came not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. The enemy fears your faith. He fears the anointing that's on your life. He fears what will happen when you finally realize who you are in God. That's why you've been under pressure. That's why the last few months have felt like an uphill battle. Because pressure reveals purpose. Fire doesn't burn gold, it purifies it. And what you're going through is not destruction, it's transformation. God is allowing certain things to fall apart so the right things can come together. He's teaching you to depend on Him more deeply than ever before. He's showing you that no matter how dark it gets, His light never leaves you. Right now, in this very moment, heaven is saying, do not be afraid. I am fighting for you. The battle you see is not the end, it's the beginning of your testimony. The pain you feel today will soon become the strength you share with others. The lessons you've learned in this season will prepare you for the blessings in the next. So, don't give up. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, something is, you just can't see it yet. God is shifting things in the unseen. He's removing people, breaking chains, opening paths, aligning opportunities, all for your good. What looks like loss right now is actually protection. What feels like rejection is redirection. You might not understand it today, but soon you'll look back and say, that's why it happened. That's where God was leading me. So keep believing. Keep praying, even if your voice shakes. Keep trusting, even when your heart feels weak. Because every second you keep your faith, heaven fights harder for you. God says, you are not losing, you are learning. You are not forgotten, you are being prepared. And this battle will not break you, it will bless you. You may not be able to see it yet, but light is forming at the end of this tunnel. And when you come out, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. The spiritual battles you've faced are the proof that you are chosen. And chosen people carry chosen challenges. But they also carry divine favor. You will not end where you started. The same God who saw you through the storm will walk you into your victory. So today, lift your head. You are not defeated. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. The battle you can't see is already being won by the God who never loses. Say these words quietly in your heart. God, I trust you. Even when I can't see it, I know you're fighting for me. And as you say that, heaven hears you. Your faith becomes your weapon, and your peace becomes your shield. This is the moment everything begins to shift in your favor. Because no matter how dark it feels right now, the light of God is on its way. And it will find you. God's message to you today is not meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. He is saying, "My child, I have been calling you softly, but you've been distracted by the noise around you. I've been showing you signs, but your eyes were focused elsewhere. So now I'm speaking more clearly, don't ignore what I'm showing you, because time is shifting. You see, God loves you too much to let you keep walking toward what could harm you. He sends warnings not to punish, but to protect. And this message, the one you are hearing right now, is one of those warnings. Something in your life needs your attention. Something you've been delaying, avoiding, or pretending isn't there. God says, it's time to face it. It's time to act. Because every moment you wait, the opportunity one placed before you begins to fade. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," the door that's open now begins to close a little more. This is why God says, open it quickly, before it's too late. He's talking about obedience. He's talking about faith. He's talking about that quiet nudge you've been feeling to do something, start that project, forgive that person, walk away from that situation, or return to His presence. You know what it is. You felt it deep inside for days, weeks, maybe even months. You've said to yourself, "I'll deal with it later." But heaven is saying, no, the time is now. Because delay is one of the enemy's greatest weapons. When he can't destroy you, he distracts you. When he can't stop God's plan, he slows it down by filling your life with hesitation and fear. But God says, "I have already given you everything you need. The next move is yours. You've prayed for a sign, and this is it." This message didn't find you by chance, it's confirmation. It's heaven's way of saying, "I've been waiting for you to act." Think about how many times God saved you before you even realized it. That missed bus that felt frustrating, but maybe kept you from an accident. That relationship that ended painfully, but freed you from a lifetime of hurt. That job that didn't work out, but opened a better path later. All of it was part of His divine warning system. Every disappointment, every closed door, every detour was protection in disguise. And now He's saying, you are stepping into a season where decisions matter. The choices you make now will shape the next chapter of your life. If He's telling you to let go of something, do it. If He's telling you to forgive, forgive quickly. If He's telling you to move forward, don't hold back. Because obedience brings blessings, but hesitation brings delay. God's timing is perfect, but our response determines how long the waiting lasts. He says, "I want to bless you. I want to lift you higher. But I can't do it if you keep holding on to what I've already asked you to release." The truth is, many people miss their miracles not because God changed His mind, but because they didn't move when He said, "Now." So, ask yourself today, what have I been ignoring? What is God asking me to surrender? What is He telling me to begin? Because every divine warning comes wrapped in mercy. He doesn't warn you to create fear, He warns you to create freedom. He's trying to protect your heart, your purpose, and your future. And if you listen to this message and act in faith, you will step into blessings that were once delayed. God says, if you trust me now, you'll see why the delay was necessary. If you obey me now, you'll see why I told you to wait before. I am aligning your path, but you must take the step. So don't ignore the feeling that's stirring inside you right now. That's not anxiety, that's awareness. That's heaven knocking on the door of your heart. The moment you open that door, peace will flood in. Things will start to make sense. The confusion will fade. Because clarity lives on the other side of obedience. God is not asking you to understand everything, He's asking you to trust Him. He's asking you to let go of fear, to stop delaying, and to start believing that He knows what He's doing. So today, choose faith over fear. Choose obedience over hesitation. Choose to open what He's placed before you, before it's too late. And say these words quietly in your heart. Lord, I hear you. I will not delay any longer. Whatever you're calling me to do, I will do it. When you speak those words with faith, heaven responds. Because God never ignores a willing heart. This is your divine warning, but also your divine opportunity. Your future is waiting on your response. Don't ignore it. Open it now, while the door is still open. God says, I know what you've lost. I know what's been taken from you. I know the pain that never fully healed, the prayers that went unanswered, and the moments that left you questioning your worth. But I am the God of restoration, and I'm about to make all things new. You see, God never forgets what belongs to you. Every tear you cried, every silent night you endured, every sacrifice you made in faith, it's all been recorded in heaven. And now, He's saying, the season of waiting is ending. The season of restoration is beginning. What was once broken will be rebuilt. What was once lost will return multiplied. What you thought was over is being rewritten in your favor. You may not see it yet, but God is working behind the scenes, aligning every detail for your comeback. He is restoring not only what you lost, but the years that were stolen from you. The opportunities, the joy, the peace, everything that slipped through your hands, will return, but this time it will come back stronger, purer, and divinely protected. God says, you thought it was the end, but it was just the turning point. You thought I was silent, but I was building something better. You thought I had forgotten, but I was preparing restoration so powerful that it will silence every doubt. There were seasons where you felt empty, where nothing seemed to move forward. But God was not punishing you, He was planting you. And now, you are about to grow in places you once felt buried. He's saying, you will smile again. You will love again. You will trust again. You will dream again. Because what is ahead of you will not look like what is behind you. The pain was preparation. The delay was direction. And what felt like loss was actually protection. You didn't lose, you were being positioned. God is restoring your peace first, because true restoration begins inside. He's calming the storm within you before He changes the storm around you. And when that peace fills your spirit, everything around you will start to align naturally. He says, do not worry about how it will happen. That's my job. Your job is to believe again, to trust that I can still do it. Maybe you've been afraid to hope again because every time you did, it ended in disappointment. But God is saying, this time will be different. This time, the doors that open will stay open. The people I send will stay. The blessings I give will last. He's reminding you that He never takes without purpose. Anything removed was only clearing space for something greater. And now that space is ready to be filled. Your heart will heal. Your faith will rise. And what was once broken inside you will become your testimony of strength. God says, I am giving you beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and praise for despair. I will restore what was taken, and I will do it in a way that leaves no doubt it was me. You're about to see divine compensation, blessings that won't make sense to others. You'll look back and realize every delay, every rejection, every heartbreak was leading you right here, to this season of restoration. Heaven is saying, you cried when you lost it, but you will rejoice when it returns. You mourned the endings, but now you will celebrate the beginnings. Because I never subtract without adding more. I never close one door without preparing another. God wants you to stop replaying what went wrong and start preparing for what's coming right. Because the past cannot define you, it can only refine you. And your future is brighter than you can imagine. So, lift your head and let hope back in. You are not forgotten. You are being restored. The very areas of your life that once brought you pain will soon bring you peace. The people who doubted you will see your transformation. The tears that fell in private will turn into public joy. And when it happens, you'll know, it wasn't luck, it wasn't coincidence. It was God keeping His promise. He says, I am the God who restores. I am the God who redeems. I am the God who brings life back to what seemed dead. So today, believe that restoration is on its way. Not someday, but now. Not for someone else, but for you. Say these words quietly in your heart: God, I receive your promise of restoration. I believe you can make everything new again. And as you say it, trust that heaven has already begun moving. Because when God makes a promise, He always fulfills it. Your waiting was not wasted. Your pain was not pointless. And your story is far from over. Restoration has already begun. Have you ever noticed how some moments feel almost too perfect to be coincidences? How certain numbers, words, or even people seem to appear right when you need them most? That's not random. That's not luck. That's God speaking, softly, gently, but clearly. He doesn't always speak in a loud voice from the clouds. Sometimes He speaks in patterns, in feelings, in timing. And the closer you listen, the more you'll realize He's been talking to you all along. God has been trying to reach you through small things. But sometimes, we get so focused on the noise around us that we forget how to feel His whisper. Maybe lately you've been seeing the same number repeating everywhere, on clocks, receipts, or license plates. Maybe you've been waking up at the same time each night. Maybe a certain song plays every time you're thinking about something heavy. Or maybe you've been feeling a strange peace when you think about making a certain decision, even though it doesn't make sense. Those are not coincidences. Those are divine signs. It's God's way of saying, I'm here. I'm guiding you. Keep walking. Sometimes His signs show up in silence. When doors close that you thought should have opened, that's a sign. When a person leaves your life unexpectedly, that's a sign. When something falls apart that you prayed would stay, that's a sign too. Because God's no is just as powerful as His yes. And often, His silence is the answer, an answer meant to protect you, not punish you. When God removes something, it's because He's seen what you can't. When He delays something, it's because He's preparing what you prayed for. You may not see it yet, but every sign, every shift, every delay has meaning. The key is not to rush, but to listen. When your spirit feels uneasy about something, don't ignore it. That's God's way of saying, stop. This path is not for you. When your heart feels peace about a decision, even if it scares you, that's God saying, trust me. This is your next step. He's not just in the miracles, He's in the small, quiet confirmations. The message that shows up at the perfect time. The friend who calls when you needed someone most. The prayer that gets answered in an unexpected way. The feeling of comfort that comes out of nowhere after crying yourself to sleep. All of these are whispers from heaven, reminding you that you are seen, known, and loved. God speaks through everything, through creation, through people, through thoughts, through stillness. But to hear Him, you must be still long enough to listen. That's why the world feels so loud, because the enemy wants to drown out that still, small voice. He wants to keep you distracted, doubting, and disconnected. But God is calling you back, to the quiet place, where your soul remembers how to recognize His voice again. How do you know it's God speaking and not just your own thoughts? Here's how you'll know. When the voice brings peace, not fear. When it leads you to love, not anger. When it strengthens your faith, not your worry. That's how you'll know it's Him. He never speaks to condemn you, only to guide, protect, and restore you. God's signs are like threads connecting every part of your story. The things you went through years ago are not disconnected from what's happening now. Every closed door, every broken season, every person who came and left, all of it was preparing you for where you are today. Nothing in your life is wasted. Even the detours are part of His design. So if you're wondering right now, God, are you really speaking to me? The answer is yes. You wouldn't even be hearing these words if He wasn't trying to get your attention. He guided you here. He led you to this very message. And he's saying, you're not lost, you're being redirected. You're being reminded that signs are not just about seeing, they're about feeling. Your spirit knows the truth before your mind accepts it. When something feels right deep in your soul, that's not emotion, that's divine alignment. So pay attention to what repeats. Pay attention to what stirs your heart. Pay attention to what brings you peace in uncertain moments. Because those are the breadcrumbs God leaves on your path, to lead you home. And if you've been praying for a sign, this is it. God is saying, yes, I hear you. Yes, I'm with you. Yes, I'm moving in your favor. Just trust me. Take this as your confirmation, you're not being ignored, you're being guided. You're not being forgotten, you're being prepared. And soon, the same signs that confused you will make perfect sense. Because one day, you'll look back and realize, every number, every moment, every silence, every delay, it all led you here, to this message, to this awakening, to this moment of divine understanding. God is speaking to you, louder than ever. And now, all He asks is that you listen. You've come this far in the message for a reason. You didn't stop, you didn't scroll away, and that means something. Deep inside, your spirit knows this isn't just another video, it's a divine encounter. God has been speaking to you from the very beginning. Every word you've heard today is a seed planted in your heart. And now, He's saying, my child, this is your turning point. This is where everything begins to shift. For so long, you've carried the weight of worry, the pain of loss, the ache of unanswered prayers. You've wondered if things will ever change, if life will ever feel peaceful again. And God wants you to know, yes, it will. This moment is not random. It's sacred. It's the place where your old life ends, and your new season begins. You don't need to be perfect to be chosen. You don't need to have it all together to be loved. God's grace reaches you exactly where you are, messy, tired, uncertain, but willing. And that willingness, that tiny spark of faith inside you, is what heaven will use to move mountains. Everything you've gone through wasn't meant to destroy you, it was meant to prepare you. The pain, the rejection, the loneliness, they were shaping you for this very moment. Every tear you cried watered the ground for your next harvest. God is saying to you now, you've been through the storm, but the rain is ending. The clouds are parting. The light is returning. You are not behind. You are right on time. You haven't missed your blessing. It's been waiting for you to be ready. And you are ready now. This message is the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. You're stepping into a version of yourself that walks with faith instead of fear, peace instead of panic, and strength instead of shame. It's time to stop replaying the past and start expecting the promise. Stop doubting your worth and start believing in your calling. Because your future is already written, and it's filled with goodness, mercy, and abundance. God is lifting the weight from your shoulders right now. The heaviness you've been feeling, it's leaving. The confusion, the anxiety, the fear, they're dissolving in His presence. Feel it, that calm in your heart, that gentle warmth inside you. That's not imagination. That's God touching your spirit, reminding you that you're not alone. You never were. This is the part where everything turns around. Not someday. Not next year. Now. So speak these words quietly, but with faith. I am ready for my new season. I am open to God's plan. I trust His timing, even when I don't understand it. I know I am protected, loved, and chosen. Let those words sink deep into your soul. Because the moment you believe them, heaven begins to move on your behalf. Your divine turning point begins now. Doors that were closed will open. People meant for your destiny will appear. The resources you need will find you. And the peace you've been searching for will settle into your heart. You don't need to chase anything anymore. You only need to trust. And as you walk forward from this moment, remember this: God never sends a message without purpose. If this reached you, it's because He wanted to remind you that you are His masterpiece, His creation, His beloved. No mistake, no failure, no past decision can take away the destiny He placed within you. So stand tall, breathe deeply, and walk with confidence. The battle you've been fighting is already won. The season of confusion is turning into clarity. And the story that once broke you will soon inspire others. This is your divine turning point. Hold on to it. Believe it. Live it. And before you leave this space, take a moment to show gratitude, not just for what's coming, but for what already is. Whisper, "Thank you, God, for never leaving me." If this message spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let it reach someone else who needs to hear these words. And if you felt peace listening today, remember to like this video, subscribe for more messages of faith, and let your light continue to shine. Because this isn't the end, it's a beginning. Your new chapter starts now. And heaven is smiling upon you.